Greetings everybody, it's Jim, and as you can see we have some World War II footage going on over here, so that means only one thing. Today I'm going to be talking to you about why you should be playing Victory from Columbia Games. Now, Victory is my all-time favorite Columbia block war game. There's just no shadow of a doubt about it. Okay, you can play it against anybody, whether they're a casual gamer that has never played anything more complicated than Risk, or you could play it against hardcore war gamers that have played games like 1914 or something. And you can definitely get something out of it every time. It's a generic war game. Basically, it is, you're fighting over cities, a strategic level, but it's not fought over any one specific scenario. So the replayability is very high. Constructing your own scenarios is very high. So hey, let's just get right into it. And one of the strongest aspects of Victory, other than the Columbia block system itself, is the fact that it is completely generic in nature. All the maps there's 16 in all, and they're all geomorphic. You can fit them any way you want, and you have a different battle each time. Not that it doesn't mean that you won't have specific ideas still coming out on these maps. So, for instance, if you wanted to play the Desert Campaign with Rommel type thing, there is a map, number 6 as a matter of fact, that does that. And you wanted to do a beachhead, there's maps that really bring that forth, but they're not exact replicas. So you don't have to worry about feeling like, and I feel this way sometimes when I play other war games, that you're really just going down roads already traveled. You're not really coming up with your own initiatives and your own ideas, where it absolutely is. That's one of the strongest things I can say about it. Now, another key element to this game is in the upper left-hand corner here. What they've done is they've taken the old Wizard Kings model of initiative, and that's what that letter is for. Of course, A's fire before B's, B's before C's, and so on, which is a big thing to make this game more streamlined. Because before, in the first edition, they had just a big litany list of every unit and who fired first, and you'd have to go through the list. Here, you could just say, okay, where are all the A's at? Okay, here are all the B's, boom, 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 and it made it a lot quicker. Not that you couldn't use the old system, but it's really not necessary. There's not a lot of payoff for that kind of minutia at all, and it still works the same way, really. It comes down to air power first, then naval, then ground units. It still kind of does that. And there's some granularity in between, but for the most part, it really makes the game really speed up a lot. Now, of course, you know that, with that many maps, 16 maps, there are going to be people out there that are going to be like, but I want to put them all together and play with more than 2 people. Wouldn't that be cool to just have this big old battle? Of course there would. That's why we played Risk as kids, right? Well, you absolutely can do that with Victory, because there are 8 box sets with different colored blocks in them. And of course, there's also box sets that you see on the right there that are different unit types. I'll get to that in a second. But basically, yes, definitely 8 different unit colors, and you can play against your friends all night long and have a blast with it. This picture, by the way, was taken by Brian Williams, who has the website wargameblockhead.com, which I suggest you check it out. Talks all about war games in general. Now he's expanding to other things as well, but check out the link below to go to his website. Now, a unit that I practically begged Tom to make in the game, even though it's a definite option, is the inclusion of an atom bomb. Now, the thing is about this brings out the scenario designer in all of us to how to use this and play with it. One of the things I think is really useful for it is in an 8-player game like I was just talking about. With that many people, it's one thing that, you want a little bit of an added diplomacy to the game, because that's what you want. You want to make allies and stuff. Well, just saying, okay, he's got the most cities and the biggest forces, so we all got to join up against him. Well, that gets dry after a while. So adding some atom bombs and some technology, well, some people might not have the resources and they might have not as many cities, but you just know they're developing the bomb. So that adds a little bit of flavor to the game there. So after all that, it shouldn't be a surprise that I say that Victory is one of the best war games ever, because I could play against novices just as much as I could play against experts. I could play very small games, or I could play humongous games with up to 8 people. I can make my own scenarios quite readily because of how easy it is to learn and tweak the rules and the units if I want. And speaking of systems, of course, it's using the Columbia block war game system, which has the intrinsic fog of war just right in there built in. And of course, it has the innovative battle system, which, by the way, you can learn with that video right there to the right or in the link down below. But that's the video, folks, and I'll see you next time.